Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this second day of spring, to Bach's 336th birthday, just brought to life and into our presence here in the sanctuary and to you at home by Reiko Oda Lane, our organist. We're so grateful. And to this Sunday just past the 1-year anniversary of shutdown. And all that has meant for all of us. And in this time when some of the most common greetings are, I got my first shot, or as Carrie Steere-Salazar had across her mask this morning as she was doing our flowers, I am vaccinated. What a year it has been. And this is a spring indeed for many of us, the urgings to get free and liberated and connected in the ways we used to, bubbling up inside us with a shorter timeline, we hope. And so it is so great to be together here, connected in the ways we have been through this last year. I want to thank everybody who has made this Sunday possible, to Jonathan Silk, who pulls together our worship every week, to Eric Shackelford, who is running our camera. I want to thank the folks who are with me up in the chancel, to Don Wiepert, a worship associate this week, who I'm lucky to have with me, and our special guests, Dolores, Perez, Heilbron, and David Heilbron. I want to thank Joe Chapeau. He is on the chat monitoring it, so if you have any issues getting online or any questions, you can ask him, and he'll be right there to help you out. Thomas Brown, who opened the building and made it safe and welcoming and warm, which was important today. To our coffee hour hosts this morning, and more about that coffee hour during our brief invitations. And I also want to thank all the musicians who are in our special music wing, Leandra Ramm and Brielle Marina Neilson and Ben Rudiak-Gould and Asher Davison. Mark is home with family, but curated and rehearsed all of the music this morning, so thanks to Mark Sumner. And Bill Ganz, who you will see soon here at the piano, back with us. It is wonderful to have you all with us. If you're joining us for the first time, it's so great to have you, and you can probably find a link. It went down last night in the magic of companies not telling us that they were transferring all of our accounts to a different place in cyberspace. So anyway, it's back up. You should have access to it with all of the music and words and much more. So welcome to worship, everybody. We have been, since the beginning, lighting a candle in honor of all of you to bring your spirits into this place until we can be together in body again. So we will light the second of these candles that we started a few weeks ago. But this morning, I also want to invite all of us to keep in mind as we light it one of our beloved members, Melvin Starks, who was admitted to the ICU this week and is slowly getting better. But he is one of our, I would say, our social justice ministers at large in the world, and so beloved, and so we keep him especially in our thoughts this morning. Today, the service is a service that looks at a topic I first preached about when I started here 3.5 years, almost 4 years ago, it'll be in September, on the Sabbath. And it felt time to preach it again. So in the spirit of that, we open with words from Abraham Joshua Heschel, who said, "When all work is brought to a standstill, the candles are lit." Oops, one went unlit, but that's a perfect time for us to, we haven't lit this candle yet. Will be lit. And just as creation began with the words, "Let there be light," so does the celebration of Sabbath begin with the kindling of lights. And the world becomes a place of rest. In that spirit we gather. And in that spirit, let's sing our opening hymn of the morning. It's hymn number 90, but it's in your order of service. "From all the fret and fever of the day." Let's sing.
and solitude we find the soundest wisdom of the deeper mind. With clear harmonious progress let us then bring richer meaning to the world with
I invite you to say the words of our chalice lighting with me. They are printed in the order of service. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the fire of commitment. We light this symbol of our faith as we gather together. Hello, I'm Don Wiepert, a member and a worship associate at UUSF. If this is your first time watching us, thanks for joining. You can follow along in the order of service, which is available in the description of this video and is emailed to everyone who receives our newsletter, which you can get by signing up through the link to our connection form that is in the order of service and video description. The order of service, besides guiding you through worship, also lists upcoming events. Please join any that interest you. After service, we have a Zoom coffee hour. Today at coffee hour, we have 2 special breakout rooms. One of those is to discuss the consideration of the new 8th principle to add to the denomination's 7 existing committed value statements. We will be voting as a congregation in June to that principle, so come to find out more. In addition, there is a breakout room for sermon discussions. When you join coffee hour, just let the hosts know if you want to be in either of these special breakout groups. Today, I also want to tell you about our special offering. With a 3-to-1 match from the Hinckley Fund, we will be donating to support the Chinatown Community Development Center in the incredible work that it has been doing during the pandemic to keep low-income seniors fed and safe, and has done so asking local restaurants to produce the food, thereby helping those businesses survive the last year. Especially in this time of violence and hatred against our Asian siblings, we stand in solidarity, and this offering is one way to live it out. I now want to invite Vanessa forward to give you a quick update on our annual giving guide.
Yes, as you can see, hot off the press, I have a note to tell you that our annual operating fund drive, which is to fund the church year that starts July 1st and goes through the following June, a year when we expect to have the lag effects of the pandemic, particularly around our rental income. That year, which is especially challenging and in which we are asking folks to help us raise an additional 50% on top of our normal $600,000 in annual pledges that you all generously give to make this church and its life possible. That additional gift, so that the total $900,000 would allow us to make it through next year whole with staffing and programming and the supports that we need to stay alive and strong till the very end of what this has all meant for us, we hope. Well, so far, from 107 households, and we have 240, we have raised $560,472, which is an immense way toward our goal of $900,000. But we will need everybody to make that last $340,000 possible. So if you've gotten your letter, or if you haven't even, you can find a pledge button online and a way to pledge. And please do so. We're hoping to wrap up the whole decision-making process of our budget on which these gifts rely by the end of this month or early next month. So please let us know, and thank you in advance. Thank you for everybody who pledged. And I want to invite forward our special guests, Dolores, Perez, Heilbron, and David Heilbron, who are going to share with us a message particularly around this.
Good morning. My name is Dolores Perez Heilbron.
And I am David Heilbron. We want you all to know how much we value this Unitarian Universalist community. I am so grateful for the happiness that Dolores and I have found together. It is no coincidence that we met at this Unitarian Universalist Society because of the unique spirituality it offers and the values it teaches.
I agree, David. However, because of the COVID-19 virus, this past year has been difficult for all of us, and for this institution financially. Yet we are impressed by how quickly Reverend Vanessa Southern and all the ministers helped us adjust to this new reality by bringing UUSF activities and educational opportunities into our homes with Zoom sessions. A thankful shout out to Jonathan Silk, Shuli Ong, Eric Shackelford, Roberto Delao, Thomas Brown, Joe Chapeau, and the whole staff for accomplishing this feat, this task.
It is so good to be again in this beautiful place and to hear Reiko Oda Lane play the organ. Thank you for that magnificent Bach Passacaglia. We are looking forward to hearing the fugue later. Thanks, Reiko. We miss the choir led by Mark Sumner, but enjoy hearing the soloists online.
Yes, today we proudly walked through our doors and saw the signs outside that proclaim Black Lives Matter and Immigrants Welcome. Our church steps have been a stage for important events in the past, anti-war protests, and other important public declarations dealing with major social issues. Currently, we gather every Wednesday morning during the rush hour to support long overdue immigration reform. We try to emulate and live up to the ideals and actions of our Unitarian Universalist forebears. Our former minister, Reverend Dr. John Burens, has written about and teaches courses on that history, as well as the 19th century abolitionists and transcendentalists. We are now inspired by activist friends like Betsy Darr and Larry Danos, who speak out on environmental concerns and the climate crisis. And thanks to chairpersons Bruce Newberger and Jim Barnett, with much assistance from Melvin Starks, by the way, the Forum and the Humanist Non-Theists present a wide range of topics. Recently, we have heard the science behind the COVID-19 virus and vaccine research, new discoveries about the institution of American slavery, a truer history of the indigenous peoples of this continent, and strategies on how to end white supremacy that continues to contaminate our American culture.
Our many interest groups include the 20s and 30s young adults, called TNT for short, also the Art Committee and Pagan Interest Circle. There are also opportunities to serve the homeless through our winter shelter and the Interfaith Food Pantry. Dolores is especially happy to attend the Black, Indigenous, and people of color gatherings, sharing ideas and comradeship.
We like to think that UUSF is a part of a new 21st century enlightenment and awakening. Being a part of it has expanded Dave's and my awareness of the need to work toward a more just and sustainable world.
I hope our comments today explain why we support this community each year as a primary commitment. But right now, our UUSF spiritual ship is sailing into rough financial waters. Knowing what it will take to get us safely through the next fiscal year,
we have doubled our gift to the annual operating fund. We were happy to do so, and we hope you will join us. See you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.